Hello BookTube, this is Leena from Lukunurkka, and this is my wrap-up for Bout of Books readathon. So, you may have noticed that I posted few videos of the first 4 days. After that, I felt a bit tired of reading. I did continue listening to my audiobooks, but I barely touched my physical books. But then again, I did lots of other stuff like hanging around with my friends and watching Eurovision. Hanging around with your friends kinda goes over the reading, even if it is a readathon. So, my priorities. Anyway, during that weekend, I did finish Kahan Ajattelija, which was the audiobook I was in middle of, and I did finish the Taivas laulu next week. So I was a little bit late for my goal of having only one book as currently reading. So, how I did overall? I listened to audiobooks for 13 hours, and that was 2 audiobooks. In addition to that, I finished Memory and Dream, which I was around halfway point, so over 200 pages, and I read 100 maybe of the Taivas, so around 300 pages. So let's look at a little bit closer of the books I read. So the first up was Memory and Dream, my physical book I have been reading for maybe a month. Memory and Dream is by Charles de Lint, and this is the second book of him I have read. Memory and Dream is a story about this young woman who was a painter, and when she was young, she got tutored by this really famous painter, and he told her how to bring spirits to our world through her paintings. I found the story fascinating, and like I said, I always like when they bring this kind of gentler magic system in this work. And when it's combined with the art, hey, I'm sold. I quite like. I would have to say I loved it because I love the style of magic and mystery and mythicalism he has in his works. And that I combined with a slower pacing. So, in that sense, I felt that the ending was a little bit too much actiony for me. I could have done without. Overall, I still liked it very much and gave it a 4-star rating. Then I listened to audiobooks, Casa Rakrent by Maria Edgeworth and Kahan Ajattelija by Veikko Huovinen. Casa Rakrent was, in one word, boring. It wasn't bad, but it was boring. Casa Rakrent was a story about one family that was a huge landowner. Only thing I found even a little bit interesting was the historical culture that they gave us, but the story and characters itself didn't matter me at all, so I gave it 2 stars. Then I listened to Kahan Ajattelija, and I loved it. The reader had a voice like my grandfather, some of his mannerism, same. In the end, I was sitting there, it's a story time with the grandparents. In lots of Finnish literature, there is this sense of if you are from the country, if you are from the forest, you don't think highly of the science or education. So having the story tell of the person who is definitely of the forest, he has worked there many years, and then he comes across a few scientists and helps them, and he's so into it. I loved it. And I have few friends who are biologists, and I don't know how accurate this method and system they did for the time were, but still I would recommend this for them. The story was basic. There is not much action or tension, but it was more of the character study. Overall, I loved it. 4-star. Actually, no, scratch that. 4.5-star. Reader get 1/2-star all by himself. Then I started, but I did not finish, Taivas laulu by Pauliina Rauhala. So this is a story about a young couple who is part of this Lestadianism movement. They have been living in that system for whole their life. So the story tells a bits of pieces life story from different time points. But in the end, the story started to focus on how this belief system affects women as mothers. Mainly the idea that there is no birth control whatsoever, and the expectation that you bring as many children as you can, and if you at any way try to control it, you are messing with the God's plan, and how this mother could not take that weight. So I saw this as a play first, and I say it helped me a lot because this story was told with really short chapters, maybe only 4 pages, and after that they jump the point of view character and the timeline. So having the play as a background, I could easily pinpoint, oh, it's that part of the story, it's that part of the story. It would have been a lot harder to read if I had come this blind. In other hand, the writing was excellent. The writing was lovely, and there was lots of these phrases and comments and type of speech that I was like, I love it and I want to use it somewhere. I have seen lots of people marking their books where there's lovely lines, and this is the first time I felt like I wanted to do that too. I'm coming to the conclusion that when it's English, I'm not that bothered or care about the language itself because as long as I get through it and as long as I understand it, it's fine. But in Finnish, when I see these lovely metaphors and style of speech, and those I can appreciate much more. So I guess that's more a matter of limit of my language skills than anything else. Anyway, I had not heard lots of this movement, but I know it was strong where my parents came from. So one of the reasons I read this and went to watch the play was that I have no concept of what you believe in. I know your name and that's about it. Everything else is new for me. Even if it gave me lots of criticism, I felt it wasn't too mean about it. It could have been much worse. But they also did bring the community aspect of the religion. So, in the end, when I did finish that, I liked it very much and I gave it 4 stars. So, overall about Bout of Books, readathon, I don't know if I get much out of it. It gave me a little bit focus and I did gather how to do these videos faster the first days and when I actually did the videos. It made it easier to start recording even at the middle of the night when I usually try to not to do that because neighbors, and I tried to make my editing process much faster. I think I did achieve that. Even if I did post these videos and I did check other people's posts, in the end I'm not in Twitter, which is where the action is most likely in. So I'm a little bit outside of this group. I may try this again, but in the end it was good experience but not great. And to be honest, there's only me to blame for that. I could have gone and commented on all the people's blog posts that I saw, but I did not. I did not feel I had time for that. But anyway, that's all for now. Bye.